Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we are from the Orange Group. We will be talking about campaign against vape. So first of all, under the Tobacco Order 2005, definition of smoking is inhaling and expelling the smoke of tobacco or any other substance and includes the holding of any cigar, cigarette, pipe, or any other form of tobacco product which is a light or emitting smoke. Therefore, under section 114 bracket 2 of the Tobacco Order 2005, vaping or inhaling and expelling vapor from e-cigarette or vape is included within the definition of smoking.
Why do people vape? Let's begin with a kid that lives in North Carolina in the United States, which the country is also known as tobacco country. He didn't know that smoking is bad, and he even worked at tobacco farm owned by his family for generations. This shows that the lack of education on smoking effects may cause a person to smoke. How about people who vape and know its adverse effects, guys? John Ayers, a public health researcher at San Diego State University, conducted a survey on Twitter in 2015 where 3 million tweets responded. Less than 30% of the tweets cited quitting smoking regular cigarettes as a reason for vaping. Rather, social image was the most common reason cited, accounting for 37% of the vaping-related tweets, while indoor use is 12% of the tweets the researchers found.
What are the positive impacts if vape is not banned? Retailer. As a retailer, I will gain more profit as there is more demand on vape due to the vape fluid contains high amount of nicotine, which is highly addictive. As there is more demand, there will be more supply as there will be more companies producing e-cigarettes, which also increases job opportunities. Plus, the cost of one cartridge of vape is already expensive. Offenses. If there is no ban on vape, there will be no such things as smuggling vape into this country or age restriction. Therefore, this will decrease offenses on vape. What are the positive impacts of vape? No obnoxious odors. One of the biggest advantages of vaping is that you and your environment won't smell of smoke. Vaping may have an aroma from the flavors used, but it's not the same from that tobacco leaves. To some people, the smell of vapor is barely noticeable. Sometimes you might even get a few compliments on the aroma. Even if you vape tobacco flavors, it won't smell like the rank fumes that come from burning tobacco leaves.
Instant satisfaction. The convenience factor is high with vapes due to how quickly you can silence cravings. Since the vape is ready, taking a hit is as simple as pushing a button or drawing on the device. While all vapes need a charged battery and e-juice to continue working, the average vape can sustain you throughout the day with no maintenance or upkeep. It's ready where you are. Price points for everyone. There is a vapor product out there for you, no matter what your budget is. The vaping market has expanded in the last few years and competition is plentiful. There are wide ranges of products in every price range, from disposable e-cigs to sophisticated vape mods to top-shelf e-liquids. If you have less than $10 to spend, you can still find a vape that's ready for immediate use. Wide access and availability. Vaping is much more accessible than when it first started. Today, you can find vapor products in your local convenience store, gas stations, smoke shops, and of course vape shops. There are also many great online vape shops that deliver everything you need directly to your doorstep. Just about every single place that sells tobacco these days, it is most likely to carry vapor products.
What are the negative impacts if vape is not banned? Other negative impacts on vape. Stigma of nicotine. Does nicotine make you thin or underweight? Well, if it is true, why is there underweight non-smokers? Nicotine is actually a lightweight as drugs. It's a mild stimulant that are also paradoxically relax the user. But because its history is inevitably tied to smoking, which is a highly dangerous delivery mechanism, nicotine has a bad name. Many people don't distinguish between nicotine and smoking. Uncertain health risks. The most long-term study on vaping is 3.5 years. It shows no negative health effects from its participants. Unfortunately, there's no longer research beyond that. Dual to vaping is a new phenomenon. Barely a decade old, it's impossible to have truly long-term data. If you vape, you're impossible to have truly long-term. If you vape, you're taking a risk that some serious hazard might be discovered in the future. But if you're using vaping to stay off cigarettes, you can at least rest easier knowing that you distance yourself from the well-documented dangers of smoking.
Should the government implement tobacco control law in Brunei? Yes, the government should implement this law by considering the MIB philosophy. The MIB philosophy. The Islam monarchy was officially proclaimed as the national philosophy of Brunei on the day of its independence on 1st January 1984 by Sultan Hassanal. Islam is the official and state religion of Brunei. MIB possesses the concept of secularism. Islam has warned us not to harm ourselves. Islam has prohibited us from refining ourselves. This is excerpted from the Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 195. Do not cast yourself into destruction with your own hands. And from Riwayat Ibn Majah, both of no harm, no malice. Both of these shows the evidence that both vaping and selling vape are prohibited in Islam.
With that, that's all our presentation for today. Thank you.
Okay, before question and answer, I actually prefer more if it's more lively. Okay, all right. Okay, inquiries. Put it down.
Do you think if people are educated, they will still vape or smoke?
Repeat.
Do you think if people are educated, they will still smoke or vape?
What was the question? Sorry.
Do you think if people are educated, they will still vape?
Yes, because it does not differentiate between people that are educated and not educated. And due to addiction, it will still cause the vaping and the smoking.
Let's say you don't have much money, but you're already addicted to vaping. So, do they sell like cheap vapes? And if they do, is it as safe as the expensive ones?
There is different price points for every vape.
It is less expensive because of the flavor. Some have strong flavor and some have sweet flavor, not so strong. But the content of nicotine and the harmful products are still the same.
Can the smell or aroma of vape harm us just like how passive smokers are?
Yes, because the aroma has aerosol from lead, nicotine, and nickel. So this thing will enter your lungs, which reduces the lungs capacity. So if lungs capacity for breathing intake decreases, so you have breathing problems. So passive smoker and active smoker both will have the adverse effect.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, brothers. You will be marked. Next group, please.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Alia and this is my teammates, which is Adila, Hanani, Rania, Darisha, and Erdina. We will present our topic, which is campaign against vape.
Firstly, I would like to talk about the positive side of people who smoke.
Even though this doesn't really make sense, but we also need to understand it from their perspective. Some people try really hard to reduce the intake of cigarettes and considering to stop, which is already a good start to try to end the addiction.
However, on the negative side, Food and Drug Administration (FDA) has not begun its review on e-cigarettes or its ingredients, nor has FDA issued any standards on the product's e-cigarette composition and effects may vary. What researchers do know is that these toxic chemicals and metals have all been found in e-cigarettes. What is nicotine? It is a highly addictive substance that negatively affects adolescent brain development. Propylene glycol, a common additive in food, also used to make things like antifreeze, paint solvent, and artificial smoke in fog machines. Carcinogens, chemicals known to cause cancer, including acetaldehyde and formaldehyde. Echolin, a herbicide primarily used to kill weeds, can cause irreversible lung damage. Diacetyl, a chemical linked to a lung disease called bronchiolitis obliterans, as known as popcorn lung. Diethylene glycol, a toxic chemical used in antifreeze that is linked to lung disease. Heavy metals such as nickel, tin, and lead are found. Cadmium, a toxic metal found in traditional cigarettes that causes breathing problems and disease. Benzene, a volatile organic compound found in car exhaust. Ultrafine particles that can be inhaled deep into the lungs.
Overall, from what I heard about all the information, it's no surprise that vaping is not a healthy habit because almost all of the disadvantages leads to death. I feel like vaping and smoking cigarettes are just the same. E-cigarettes are just as addictive as traditional ones. Many e-cigarettes users get even more nicotine than they would from a tobacco product. You can buy extra strength cartridges which have a higher concentration of nicotine, or you can increase the e-cigarette's voltage to get a greater hit of the substance. Other than that, they may also lead us, not just the smokers, which is us, but the passive smokers too, to all kinds of diseases such as chronic lung diseases, bronchitis, and asthma exacerbations.
Shouldn't we stop this, guys?
Yes.
It's unfair for us, the non-smokers, to have uncertain health risk caused by inhaling the smoke. We share this world, and we need to respect each other's life, right? There's a strong link between smoking and cardiovascular disease and between smoking and cancer. But the sooner you quit, the quicker your body can rebound and repair itself. Talk to your doctor about what smoking cessation program or tools would be best for you. Stop selling products until we know facts. The recent rush of death around vaping should be ringing alarms. They should stop the sale of vapes immediately to avoid further illness or death. This is the responsible action that should be taken instead of continuing to sell vapes to make more and more money. Are people's lives worth the money leaving the pockets of this manufacturer? No, right?
No.
The risks of active smoking are well known. If you are struggling to give up smoking for your own health, you might find that health of your family or other member of your household is be a stronger motivation. So there are ways to prevent the demand of e-cigarettes from rising, such as rising e-cigarette prices. E-cigarettes are cheaper than the traditional cigarettes. Most people are sensitive to pricing. Higher price can dissuade would-be smoker. Some people may switch to e-cigarette as traditional cigarettes are often costly. So we need to raise the price of e-cigarettes as well to discourage smoking overall. Conducting media campaign. Education campaigns have helped people understand how tobacco companies exploit them. These campaigns are even more effective when supported by school-based and family-based programs. And lastly,
This campaign, but we didn't manage to bring the video here. So, do you have any question?
And give a round of applause first. Next time we're gonna use that video, okay? Inquiries?
If the vaping or smoking company decide to decrease the supply when clearly the demand is increasing, how will it affect the smokers?
In our opinion, they can make their own smoke and then
Yeah.
They would do anything in order to get cigarettes, and that would actually affect the economy, and they might do something wrong. Like the crime rate might go up.
Yes.
If vaping is ever safe, why is the death rate that is caused by vaping increase every year?
Because they are convinced that it's a better alternative than cigarettes.
They thought that vaping is much better than smoking and safe than smoking, but it's actually the same. And they can buy more nicotine for the vape and than the cigarettes, the original cigarettes.
Last question. Last question.
Since vaping has its own flavors, does each flavor carry out its own disease?
They're the same.
Because at the end, it affects our lungs.
It contains the same ingredients,
Yeah.
but different flavors. Yeah.
Just
No more? I'm gonna add you on that one. The second last again, what was it? The question?
If vaping is ever safe, why is the death rate that is caused by vaping increase?
Yeah. Then the answer is they thought that it's safe, right? But who gave the thought that it's safe?
The public and
The retailer,
yeah.
the company. Right? Okay, give a round of applause. Between cigarettes and vape. Okay? I'm gonna speed it up. This is like after 600 cigarettes, 200 cigarettes, and 20 ml juice. Huh? Okay, I'm gonna speed up. After a month. Okay, look. Even though vaping does not seem to show anything much, but there's still confidence. That's why someone said about popcorn lung. What was it? Yeah, popcorn lung. Okay. So you see, because vaping is like clear, the tobacco company are trying to seize these opportunities to promote their tobacco, saying that tobacco is much better because, okay, right? The illness right now is still being observed, okay? The only thing that about illness, they only can find out like 90 days, then they can know whether a person is having illness due to vape or not. Okay, so far, it's increasing after 90 days. So the bottom line is, it may be a substitute for the tobacco people, the tobacco smokes, but if you are not smoking yet, please do not start, okay? Okay, ladies, who wants the mark? Who wins? So,
the average group 1 got the highest.
got the highest?
Reason because the content they got
High mark content. Okay, what is second? How far is it?
2 marks away.
2 marks different. But in terms of 6 heads, I love second one.
Yeah.
Okay? Well done, everyone.